언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아 이리 수워서 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여 I'm troubling you running it I'm so cold when I move that way you gon' be so blown I'm the realest in the game said I'm on fire with the blaze you're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa I'll let your face off disappear I'm the eraser in the touch just like a razor murked up in this world my face I got all the boys on me I got all the lines on me dirty hands, I got 네 face 걸어 들어와 유행선두자 원하지만 못하잖아 애가 타잖아 리메이크 할리우드고 난 알지 I know 준비해 hustle the ball 멈추지 않아 화낼래 그게 웃겨해 그거 말고 vibe 믿어봐 그만큼 크게 여고 high 100% 넌 믿지 못해 죽어주잖아 나는 boss 간지부터 sauce 원하는 Everybody bring it down, 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 down Like a tribe, but we gonna wear the crown You got going another round, 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 round Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down Never going back, none of that Diamonds on drip, cause I keep a nigga splash Wanna break the rules and hearts and tools Cause that's what your bodies do Sorry for the bad news, sorry I'm so bad Only took a minute for me to get what you had Sorry for the bad news, no it makes you sad Live for a minute, baby, you should pack your way that I look should be breaking the law If I don't got it, I take what I want My circle small like a round of applause You know that I love the sound of applause You know I mean everything that I say When you see me come and get out of the way Back in the state, back and I'm better and ready to stay Ain't nobody bringing us, ain't nobody bringing us Down, 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 down Like a tribe, but we gonna wear the crown Wanna break the rules and hearts and tools Cause that's what the baddies do
Never going back, nah, nah, nah. Diamonds on drip, cause I can't make a splash. Gonna bring the rules and hearts and tools, cause that's what the baddies do. It's crazy. Something's talking about being the best, about the gene, about the net, about the gold, about the chest, about the gold color flex. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I am your host, Radio Hazbin. We are doing a live reading of course, of the Alastor comic that got released about 2 days ago. So, right now, obviously, there's already been controversy. So, there has already been controversy surrounding the comic already. So unfortunately, this is the first thing you guys are going to see. Falsies had to come out. Vivienne didn't actually come out about it, but basically, obviously, I'm gonna let you guys actually hear it from her, from my mouth, while I actually go through. I do have the comic right here, so we are prepped, ready to go. So. Obviously, apparently there was a artist known as Funny Letter Art who basically helped color the comic. There was one problem. She was, in fact, a minor. They do address the issue here. The Falsies goes lastly. There is 2 parts to this, and I'll let you hear both parts. So she goes, "Hey everyone, I wanted to address the discussions and concerns that have been brought forward in regards to this artist. Age of their work on the comic, how it was addressed, and how it's been handled moving forward." So I'm gonna let Falsies take over from here.
Hey guys, it's Falsies. I just thought this would be a more genuine and candid manner to address the situations that I'm seeing in regards to the coloring artist Lunetta's age and her being brought on to the Alastor comic. So the truth, genuine matter is that I was not aware at the time when Lunetta was brought onto the project, and neither was Vivienne, that Lunetta was 16. We had already gone through the discussions, we had discussed pay with Lunetta, and Lunetta had brought up the fact that they were a minor. We had addressed our concerns with Lunetta, and what Lunetta, me, and Lunetta's mom agreed, after she had gone over the material, looked over the Alastor comic, and signed a waiver of permission for Lunetta to work on the project, was that Lunetta would be allowed to work on the Alastor comic, but then at me and Vivienne's discretion, we had a conversation and spoke to Lunetta and agreed upon it, that Lunetta would only color the Alastor comic, and then afterwards they would be let go because of the adult graphic material of the comic. What we had surmised and what I had approached was that the comic itself, the Alastor comic, did not depict any graphic material that would be unwelcome or unwarranted of a 16-year-old. However, we do acknowledge and agree that due to her age, it is not responsible, reliable, mature, or really just morally acceptable to allow a minor to continue to work anymore on the adult series animated project. So I just wanted to address these concerns. I do know it was brought up, and I do want everyone to be aware that we took as much reasoning and precaution as we could moving forward to avoid the situation happening again. I'm really sorry if this has led people to form very distrustful opinions about the show, but I hope everyone is at least well aware that we did the best we could to rectify the situation without crushing and giving out the disappointment of not following through with a job agreement.
Okay, so that was part 1. Yes, as in a natural young person under the age of 18. I do believe this was a mistake on everyone's part. Luckily, have taken it on the chin, literally within 24 hours. That is probably the best way to approach this situation as possible. They have got positive feedback over this, but no doubt there are some screechers out there that are probably thinking like, Viv bad. She let a minor work on a violent comic. But yeah. Minor, M-I-N-O-R, minor, as in like a minor key, like C minor. Different minor. Actually, we do have part 2 here before that plays. Also, from the outer space, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Radio Hazbin. We hope you enjoy your stay. She said, I do take responsibility in admitting that more research should have been done in avoiding the situation, and that, as an adult, it is my responsibility to make sure situations like this do not occur on a professional and moral level. So I do really and truly apologize. And so here is the final part from Forsties.
That we had proposed and taken place with Lunetta. So I am sorry for the situations that arose, but I just hope everyone understands that we try to fix it and we have moved on, moving forward, making sure to take stronger precautions of vetting people's ages. Whew. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you. And that we have.
Okay, and that's it for Forsties. Vivienne, I don't think, has spoken about the issue. Again, Forsties pretty much took most of the brunt, since obviously she was working on the comic a bit more. I think this is the reason why we had the delays for such a long time, between July until now, which seems plausible. It definitely seems plausible from that kind of take, really. So pretty much, yeah. I'm glad basically everyone sounds so tired. We're all tired of shit. Okay, I'm gonna close that because I don't need that anymore. So now we're on to the comic here, which is the Radio Demon. Obviously, pencils by Liam, line art by Forsties, Lunetta, backgrounds done by Magpie and written by Vivienne Medrano. So here we go. A Day in the Afterlife. In case you haven't noticed, I got an Alastor mouse cursor. I'm scared of your intelligence. Some people are scared of it. So, obviously we won't dissect all of this yet until after we've done the reading, so that'll be pretty much that. So obviously everyone fears the Radio Demon. There is a cinema nearby. Yeah. Everyone does fear Alastor. So he enters a cafe. Wanting a cup of tea and some deviled eggs. Deviled eggs. So he feeds one to the crows. Here you go, you filthy scavengers of joy. And then they proceed to harass the waiter. The barista. Lol. Interesting. So apparently Alastor can basically touch anything that is living and it pretty much dies. Okay. And of course everyone knows this kind of meme. Hello! Oh, is he still walking? Now walking by Cannibal Colony. Okay. That's interesting. Hang on. He didn't have the hat before. He didn't have the hat pages before. Interesting. He didn't even warn it. Okay. Yeah, so apparently there are cannibals in hell. I am not surprised. Not much trouble, it's just preparing for it. Massive reason. So here we go. We got the reference to Rosie. And we know that's gonna be a confirmation of a bitch fight. We'll get into the theories once we dissect everything from here. Right. Here we go. Here's something apparently that... Right. Obviously, you guys have seen some of the ads of these. Ugh. There is one thing I have a gripe about this. Is obviously if you guys look here, it says Fruit Loops $666. Did you guys mean to put an exclamation point? Because that's probably the most expensive cereal I've ever seen in existence. Like, seriously, that's probably the... I'm gonna... Most expensive... cereal. Sorry, I'm gonna search this up. Top 10 most expensive cereals ever made. I am sidetracking for the time being. Bam. Exactly. I think they meant to put a decimal point, but I don't know. And now I can't scroll because my... There we go. Really nothing good on these days, hmm? Okay. And of course they are scared because it's the radio demon. Obviously it's been well established that Vox and Alastor do not like each other. Yeah, it's called Vivziepop apparently. Seems like obviously Vox is aware. Show off. All hat and no cattle. Basically all bark and no bite. Basically we all do nothing but talk. I'm just having a look at all these other things. I'll probably like show them later. These like most expensive cereals. Obnoxious, pompous, piece of shit television. Fucking egotistical waste of glamorized, cross-overrated, dumb, annoying, cultish bastard. Vox has a crush on Alastor? Confirm? Okay, so he goes past the butchers. Good day to you, sir. Drops the patron. I caught sight of the sign out front and I make it my business to try out every new meat shop that appears. You never know which one will end up being my favorite. Yes, Alastor is swearing. $37 people just for a live reading. Jesus Christ. Like, you're telling me that I have a suspicious link coming my way, Bitdefender. Do you have any fresh venison? I do love a nice top sirloin, but I am partial to venison myself. Reminds me of simpler times. And we all love to turn to simpler times, do we not? Okay, so he's threatening the butcher. Yes, sir. I have some nice cuts that I could get for you. Good man. Make sure you get all of that silver skin trimmed off. I want fresh meat, not bubblegum. Okay. I like how he says silver skin. I mean, his skin is silver, but yeah. Again, thank you for telling me. Why not use your radio front of my mecha? Well, technically bad people don't like that, So that's why. Thank you kindly, my good sir. Oh, pardon me. Come here, bitch. Well, hey, look, stop, let go of me. Let go of me. Help, help. Okay, so apparently this little sheep is gonna be the next, well, cut of meat, to put it more rightly, and yes, I rhymed. Deal with it. You know, I do really hate those who can't show a little more respect to those of fairer means. It's rather disrespectful. Like bad meat. And here we go. You get mad, Alastor. I think he's only used his demon form twice now. Confirmed. So obviously he's got mutilated because his hand, the sheep. Not quite as tasty as venison, but it will do. So they didn't even give him venison. So. And that's it. That's it for the comic. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the comic. So let's break it down then. So that's pretty much the next bit. Well, the thing is, Wendigos are in the northeast. He's from the south, so it doesn't make sense. Yes, the butcher's dead. The butcher is dead. Right, okay. Obviously now we're going to look at the preferences and see what's here. So more likely, Alastor is coming from this direction here. We don't know exactly which sector this part of this world ends because we do not see the clock tower. Obviously, this particular part here, that's a reference to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know that's a reference to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Of course, there's a statue of Lucifer. So we don't know exactly where this is in the verbatim. And by the looks of it, this is probably like round the corner. There seems to be a bit of a bend. I don't know whether or not there's any more buildings after this. Yeah, there we go. There's the... That's it, and there is the Lucifer statue back here. Let's do the time warp again. It's going fine. It's going fine. Gonna check something real quickly. Cool. Seems to be rather green here, which is rather odd considering the outlook of the outside. definitely has a different picture to what it pertains. So now we know apparently that obviously I could definitely say now by looking at this particular setting, I can now more likely rightly say that Pendulum City is probably based on New York. I wouldn't say it would probably be LA. Because I don't think LA has got gardens like this. If anyone actually does live in LA that could confirm this with me that has seen something like this in LA, please let me know. And of course, a reference to the pilot, even though this is before the pilot. I would probably suggest this is before even the Purge. We got Cannibal Colony. Again, he didn't have that hat, so it doesn't make any sense. Apparently this may be Alastor's fan group. Not really the case, I don't think, but they may know Alastor since obviously he comes through here quite often. Many people think that this is Franklin. It's not. It's not Franklin, I don't think. Unless Vivienne says otherwise. Again, I cannot confirm or deny anything. I'd like to know who this guy is. He'd be a great character. Yeah, more likely I probably would say Rosie is probably a cannibal. By the sounds of it, but of course she does. Even I don't know. Don't think anyone knows. Not all fucking Alastor decided to magically appear that. You know, like the hat he wore in the Reprise song. Then we have all the ads for Box. Obviously, the Valkyrie Speaker 2.0 of him holding a guitar. The V&Vs of his candy with Valentino. Rosie was never human to begin with. We don't know that. We don't know. We don't know anything about Rosie at this moment in time. Well, yeah, considering that jazz music was around his era. So. I see, grab your schmicken. I can see that. That's a reference to, Dave Kepdeval and Michael Kovac's thing about the big, the chicken thing that happened. Possibly. Obviously, this is a reference to TikTok, probably. I don't know. Seems like obviously Alastor's bashing the advertisements. And Vox has been made aware. So therefore, he's always saying that all hat, no cattle, which of course means all bark and no bite. All he's doing is nothing but talk. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? In another sense. I don't think Forstius has confirmed that. Via, you can DM me if she has confirmed that. And he proceeds to talk smack about Vox in the distance and before seeing the new butcher shop. Seems like the butcher has been made aware of Alastor and his existence, but didn't know he was going to come in. Obviously, I think Alastor uses the exact same word, pompous, as Angel dusted in the Dirty Heathens comic. So there is a cross reference between those two. Do you have any fresh venison? Obviously, this is referring to the art that was done some time ago. If I can find it. It was drawn by Vivienne. That was Alastor in Louisiana swamps eating deer in front of a bunch of gators. I do remember that image very well. Alright, seems like the butcher was about to go harm Alastor. But he knew that Alastor was going to be the much more bigger threat. Which he would. Obviously, more likely, he underestimated, well, pretty much Alastor's demeanor. Oh, great! Hey guys, it's good to see both of these. There we go. I would more likely say in this page, he's more likely trying to find some meat. More likely trying to get some food. At least. And but I think he means by silver skin. Not just the fur, but probably the grit. Because the grit, the fat, I think that's what he means, the silver skin. The silver skin is more likely the fat that's on the actual meat itself. And of course, Alastor decides to be a gentleman. And stops when someone needs help. Which is understandable. I mean, we don't know exactly what the butcher was going to do. But more likely I'd probably say that the butcher is more likely going to turn the sheep into haggis and properly. And I can't technically say the word because obviously it pertains to another definition. But in the UK, it's the F word, obviously. I can't really divulge anymore. Basically, that is made out of sheep's brains. So we have a different connotation here But of course, many people will obviously associate it with a derogatory term for a homosexual. I will always say it's always been used to sheep's brains far longer than it has for homosexuals. And they've been around just as long. Not the C word, the F word. And more likely, probably some lamb shanks, some ribs, some lamb chops. And no one knows why they're in hell. So that's going to be interesting. Cannibalistic sheep. So then obviously the butcher gets mutilated. I can probably more likely say that is definitely a she. Yeah, it's definitely a she. You might want to add 3 more letters after that, but you get my point, Samara. And then, not as quite tasty as venison, but it will do. So more likely he's already critiquing the meat. So, what do we get from this? Not really much. We don't get really much from this at all. Gonna quickly go back to the beginning. I don't really get much. How is Alastor a simp? Alastor just defended someone who was about to get butchered. I think that's pretty much bravery than simping. True. But again, we don't know exactly where this fits in my timeline. Does it contradict a few things? No, it actually doesn't. It actually does not contradict a few things at all. It may have confirmed a few assumptions that I've had, mostly about his past. But again, I can't really say much. And Brendy Devil 666, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. But really, we don't know much really after this. There's really nothing else left. It really doesn't confirm or deny my road to redemption. In fact, it just helps build it up even more. Vivienne, or any of the artists, the comic artists that watch this, finish this before I release my video. You guys have got a week. I've yet to even finish my writing yet. Oh, you mean like the cherubs? The cherubs from, I could see why people would probably pertain to that. I could definitely see why. The thing is, like, if you look here, you can see teeth. Sharp teeth. Like, well, sharp teeth tends to go for more of an evil connotation. They don't show here, but they definitely show in the next page. Here. Probably, I don't know. What confirmed Road to Redemption was the Vox and Alastor's rivalry? Not just that, but also this particular part here. Obviously, obviously there's this sheep getting bullied. That confirmed it also, because obviously that more likely triggered something about Alastor. That's about it. Technically, that's not a spoiler. That's been out for about 2 months. But everyone, I do recommend actually watching my Road to Redemption Angel Dust before watching my Road to Redemption Alastor. Because in Angel Dust's Valentino arc, I gloss over some issues, whereas in the Alastor arc, Alastor's story, I go more in depth. Not about the rivalry between Vox and Alastor in that sense. Trust me, that goes into more detail. There are little other characters that get involved in that. In a sense, yeah, he is a bit like Hannibal Lecter. I could definitely agree on that. Oh, sorry, I'm scratching my nose. Yeah. I think there's really nothing else for me to talk about, really. I mean, we're pretty much... It doesn't really contradict my Road to Redemption unless they add more pages. No, it's at Alastor, not Alucard. Well, it's the fact that also the butcher was going to harm him. The butcher was trying to harm him, and then he harmed the next patron. And more like he was trying to harm the patron before. But we don't know why. And that's always the motive. I would more likely probably say that the guy was more likely doing walk-in meets, walk-in victims. But he never expected an overlord to come in. Oh yeah, definitely. He got turned into a hog roast big time. He definitely did. And more likely, he probably swapped out the bag of venison for hog meat. Well, we don't know. Yeah, it's already been 45 minutes and I've already deconstructed it all the way down to pretty much the mere brim. I've got nothing else to add. It just raises further questions unless more stuff comes out. And which now it has to tie him to the story. Where would I say this fits in the timeline? I would definitely say probably about 2 weeks before the actual pilot. But again, I do not know. Until basically, well, till there's more pages. It wasn't as bloody. Hang on, let's have a look. No, because he tried to kill. He tried to go after Alastor. And he tried to go after the other demon. Even though you don't see it here, but that looks like that's pretty well contained. And there's a lot of blood like dripping from the bag. And it's pretty much up to where the handle is. Whereas if you look at the, not this page, but the page before, it's nowhere near. So he's added in more meat, meaning he's added in the hog meat. So I thoroughly do think that obviously Vivienne has definitely based hell on New York City. In a sense. The way, of course, it's portrayed, obviously, with the garden. It being so close to Central Park. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can add more to this. There is literally nothing else. Oh no, she is. She wasn't afraid of him at first, but as soon as he went into demon form, she was scared shitless. I don't think this is a cherub. I do think this is a demon. I do think this is a demon. But again, we don't know her name. We probably won't know her name. Again, she's just a side character. But she does have... Yeah, she knows not to mess with him to a degree. But I want to know more information. That's pretty much all there is to it. There we go. She's got the woolies now. Yeah. Okay, aren't cherubs weird flying babies? Well, flying monkeys. I see more flying babies. But then again, like, they're supposed to have multiple eyes. Like, all the angels are supposed to be multiple eyes, not the way they actually are portrayed in, like, the Renaissance architectures. Nope. No, he didn't kill her because he just walked straight past. He killed the butcher though. I do think obviously this is a female. This is definitely a female sheep demon. The cherubs that are gonna be in the next. Well, we don't know when this next episode of HelluvaBoss is gonna be. I will more likely say probably the cherub. They're all male. All three of them are males. So obviously that pretty much clarifies that. I was only typing for like a few seconds. Yeah. There's really nothing else to talk about in this comic. Again, it doesn't actually contradict my suspicions. Also, I like how they only put one tape there for crime scene when it should really be put in two. Because people could still get past that. Yeah, I thought so. Did she confirm or deny what you were searching for? Ah, okay. Interesting. Then why did they have a love for donuts? Okay. Yeah. Talk about Dragon Ball. This is not a Dragon Ball Super channel. I mean, Geekdom 101 has just released a video about the newest chapter. It's not my expertise. No. It's not my that's not my channel. If you want something like that, go to Geekdom. Go to Geekdom, go to Opie Senpai. Go to Seth the Programmer. Go to Anime AJ. Yeah, that was on the Black Lives Matter stream, I think it was, for about the cherubs. Pay attention to the background characters more than Alastor himself. Okay. Because obviously more likely that goat, well, that little sheep, probably has more dialogue. I don't think the barista is going to be important. I do think these guys may play a role at some point. Do you think the butcher was new to hell? Yes. I do think the butcher was new to hell. Yeah, but thing is, they have thousands of subscribers, and I really don't want them punched down, and I don't want them punch up. So, I know geekdom, so him and I are cool. We're fine. I do hope this guy has more of a prominent role. It would be kind of fun to look into. Well, we don't know, Sherman. We don't know. We don't exactly know. But I do believe more likely this is about, obviously about television. An idiot. It's theorized Nifty comes from Japan. Well, we actually don't know. We don't know any of the characters' races, even though technically Nifty has yellow skin. But then again, that goes into racial stereotyping. Obviously, the yellow skin is referred to, obviously, for Asian people, and that is technically be considered racist in that kind of manner. Many people didn't think that Alastor was biracial. I've had people. Hey, Salty. Video fights the radio star. Well, watch out next week. Cause, yeah, there is a Vox and Alastor fight in my story. So yeah, pretty much like here, like Alastor uses the word pompous, and so does Angel Dust. Vox is just like, notice me! I was just like, piss off, you wanker. So yeah, obviously you see here the butcher is threatening harm. Because he grabs the patron by the pretty much the throat. And we don't see him for another 2 to 3 scenes. Obviously we know that's not Blitz, so because the skin colours off. Yeah, Vox has complete control. I think that's Michelle Marie displaying her abilities, not Nifty actually speaking Japanese. I think he used the word pompous a bit too much. But didn't they also say that about Husk, that he can also that he's also bilingual because he's lived a long life? He died in 1975. Yeah, I thought Husk was more trilingual. Well, we don't know, Sherman, until more pages come out. So there's really nothing else that we can go off on. This has actually been the most shortest stream I've ever done. Yeah, there's literally nothing else for me to go on. I am aware that I am aware that apparently that obviously many people have speculated that Alastor needs to eat meat in order to gain power. I do believe that is more likely probably substantially true. But how much is always the key, since he's having a bit of it right here. It's going well, Jimmy. It's going well. Did he say he was bored out of his mind in this pilot? Yes, but thing is, this is a prequel, not a sequel. All the comics are prequels to the pilot. And that has been told by Forsties and Vivienne. And I always keep it such. But where this fits in the timeline is a completely different question. I think what makes a demon is obviously which sin you relate to and what creature more like you'll probably end up being. Honestly, I don't know, Kathleen. I actually do not know. I think that's roughly all I can talk about, really. There's nothing else for me to actually say. I mean, we've pretty much broken down everything by atoms until more pages come out. Which I highly doubt is going to be next week because Forsties is now left. So it's kind of lost in a sense. I would probably more like I said it will be a continuation, but we don't know when. So it's now that Forsties is left, more likely. Oh, I think there is a way to tell. Yeah, it's a girl. If the shoulder width matches the hip length, it is a woman. Well, it. And also the slight bosom from the jumper. So this is in fact a woman, and of course eyelashes. So this is a woman. I think the Devil May Cry fits in after 1. It goes 3, 1, animated series, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, Forsties left a while ago. She left back in August. I reported on that. Waiting for Alastor to show off that tail. I don't think he ever will. I mean, we have plenty of advantages, like here, to show it off, but no. He'll never show off that tail. I think that's roughly about it. That's all we can find, really. There's nothing else. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. That's all we can basically discover from this. It's been a rather short one. Again, 16 pages, not that very short. The thing is, like, there's nothing really else for us to say. I mean, I think we need more pages in order to get the clearer picture. Because obviously I do think this is incomplete. Forsties has left the Hazbin crew. She's no longer part of the Hazbin Hotel. She's no longer part of it. No, it goes DMC 3, then 1, then the animated series, then 2, then 4, then 5. In that specific order. Salty. But anyway, that's pretty much all I can talk about. There's really nothing else new that this can add to the table until we get more pages. Which we don't know when the next lot of pages are going to come out. It could come out in tomorrow, could come out next week, could come out next month or next year. We don't know. So everyone, thank you very much for attending. This is basically Radio Hazbin tuning out for now. Bye-bye!